So, you think you've got what it takes to be a lifeguard? Well, it's way more than just a cool summer job. It's a huge responsibility. And it all kicks off with one big hurdle, a pretty tough physical test. Today, we're going to crack that code. We're diving right in, giving you everything you need to know to walk in there and absolutely nail it.
All right, so here's our game plan. First up, we'll look at what I'm calling the lifeguard gauntlet. The main challenges you're going to face. Then we'll get into mastering the strokes for that long swim, conquering the famous brick test, and, of course, the art of treading water. And by the end, we'll make sure you're feeling totally ready for the big day.
Okay, first things first, let's really get a handle on what you're up against. And hey, don't think of it as just a test. Think of it more like a set of puzzles you're about to solve. I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? It's not about just being a decent swimmer who can do a few laps. No way. You've got to have the strength, the stamina, and the right technique to actually save someone's life. So what are those core skills that show you're ready for that? Let's dig in. All right, so here they are, the three big pillars of the physical test. First, that 300-yard continuous swim. That's all about your endurance. Second, you've got the 10-pound brick retrieval from the deep end. That's a direct test of your rescue abilities. And third, treading water for 2 whole minutes using just your legs. And trust me, none of these are random. Each one is specifically designed to simulate what you might face in a real emergency.
Okay, let's tackle that first challenge, the 300-yard swim. This one is all about stamina, and more importantly, swimming smart.
Yeah, 300 yards. To give you some perspective, that's like swimming the entire length of a football field, end zone to end zone, 3 times. And you can't stop. So you can see why just muscling through it isn't going to cut it. Having an efficient stroke and rock-solid technique is absolutely key. So what are your options? Basically, you've got 2 main choices, the front crawl, which you probably know as freestyle, and the breaststroke. Front crawl, that's your speed demon. It's fast, it's continuous. Breaststroke, on the other hand, is your marathon runner. It's all about rhythm, saving energy, and getting that nice, long glide. And here's the best part. You don't have to pick just one. You can use either or even switch back and forth during the test. Okay, let's really zoom in on that breaststroke kick, because this is where so much of your power comes from. It's this specific 4-step motion. You bring your heels up towards your body, then you spread your feet out wide, kind of outside your knees. Then comes the power move. You push your feet down and back, and finally, you squeeze those legs together and just glide. It's that classic powerful frog kick motion. And your arms have to work perfectly in sync with that kick. So when you're in that glide position, you start by pressing your palms outward. Then you sweep your hands down and in towards your chest, almost like you're drawing a big heart in the water. Then bring them together and shoot them right back forward into that streamlined glide. Okay, time to put it all together. The absolute secret to a good breaststroke is timing. It's a beautiful rhythm. As your arms pull, your head lifts up and you grab a breath. Then, as your arms shoot forward again, your head goes back down, and that's when you kick. So think of it like this. Pull, breathe, kick, glide. Get that rhythm down and you can swim efficiently for a long, long time. All right, let's switch gears to the front crawl. This one is all about 2 things, a constant flutter kick and those arms alternating over the water. This is pretty much the engine of fast swimming. So the front crawl is this nonstop, powerful cycle. Your legs are just constantly fluttering with the motion coming from your hips. At the same time, your arms are doing this alternating dance. One is pulling you through the water while the other one is recovering up and over the top. It's definitely a bit more complex than breaststroke, but man, is it a whole lot faster. All right, you've powered through the 300-yard swim. Awesome. But now comes something totally different. We're talking about a test that's a direct simulation of a rescue, the brick test. And this one isn't about how fast you are. It's all about having the right technique when the pressure's on. So, what's the mission? You start in the water. You have to dive down to the bottom of the pool. We're talking 7 to 10 feet deep. Grab a 10-pound brick, bring it back to the surface, and then swim 20 yards on your back, holding that brick on your chest without your face going underwater. Yeah, it's a serious test of your real-world rescue ability. Now, the trick here is getting down to that brick fast and without wasting energy. The best way to do that? The feet-first surface dive. So what you do is use a really powerful kick and press down hard with your hands to pop your body up out of the water. At the very top, you take a huge breath, and then you just let gravity take over. You keep your body straight and streamlined, and you'll sink right down to the bottom. Okay, you've got the brick. Now the hard part really starts. You're on your back, holding this 10-pound weight on your chest, and you got to kick your way back to the wall. The two most important things: tilt your head way back so your mouth and nose stay out of the water, and use a super strong, efficient kick to move you forward. Something like a scissor kick or even a modified breaststroke kick works great. So, you've shown you can dive down and retrieve something heavy. But what happens when you need to support a victim in the water, keeping both of your heads up while you wait for backup? Your hands are going to be busy, right? That's exactly what the treading water test is for. It proves your legs can handle the job all on their own. 2 full minutes. Now, that might not sound like a lot of time, but believe me, when you're in the water with your hands out, it can feel like forever. This is another one that's all about smart technique and not wasting energy. So let's look at the best ways to do it.
So, you've got a few different kicks you can use. The scissor kick works, the modified breaststroke kick works, they're fine, but the undisputed champion, the real star of the show, is the rotary kick. You probably know it as the egg beater. This is where your legs move in opposite circles, kind of like an egg beater, right? This creates this constant, super steady lift that is unbelievably efficient. It's what water polo players and synchronized swimmers use. It's the pro move, for sure. Okay, so we've pulled apart every piece of the test. But look, knowing what to do in theory and actually being able to pull it off under pressure on test day, totally different things. And that's where practice and preparation become so important. This right here says it all. You could be the most powerful swimmer out there, but if you haven't practiced the specific skills for this test, you're really risking it. Seriously, don't let a lack of prep be the reason you don't pass. So, what's the big secret to walking in there and feeling confident? It's all about guided preparation. Taking a prep class can be a total game changer. Why? Because you get feedback from actual instructors who can tweak your technique. You get to practice the real test scenarios over and over, and all of that builds the confidence you need to just go in and crush it when it counts. And really, that's what it all comes down to. Look, the lifeguard test is tough. There's no doubt about it. But it is 100% achievable if you have the right knowledge and you put in the practice. So I guess the only question left to ask is, are you ready to take the plunge?